Now that tastes like summer. I've had a love-hate relationship with summer for many years now, mainly because where I'm from, it is extremely hot here. I'm talking like triple digits in the summer. So I watch all these videos about how to make the most of summer, how to romanticize summer, and it's like, oh, like go for a bike ride or like run in the grass like during the middle of the day. And I'm like, I can't do that. I would literally die. So for the longest time, I honestly like hated summer. I would dread it, and especially for where I live, summer lasts like 4 to 6 months out of the year, and so I was dreading like half of the year. But I put a stop to that. I really don't want to dread half of the year because of the weather. So for the past couple of years, I've worked really hard on trying to embrace the summer, even though it's torturous degrees. So today I want to talk about a couple of ways that even if you also live in an area that it is extremely hot, we can still have a summer that we are going to love and enjoy. Summer to me is all about nostalgia. If you think about it, majority of America really starts and ends their summertime based off of the school year, even though many people aren't in school anymore, myself included. And so I just feel like summer is the time to be a kid again, feel like a kid again, or if you have kids, use this time to create those core childhood memories. I feel like for me, when I think about my childhood and all of the fun that I had, a lot of them happened during the summertime. So that is really what I'm trying to embrace this summer. Okay, let's set the scene. So I feel like, especially where it is, if it's really hot where you are, you always need something cool in the fridge to look forward to. So if you're coming home from being out all day, or if you were playing out in the morning, having a pitcher of fresh iced tea waiting for you in the fridge at all times is a staple to have a good summer. I found this recipe for yuzu, I think it's yuzu iced tea that I really want to try. And I am planning on having that in the fridge all summer. And also, if you've never made sun tea, I would encourage you to make sun tea. Literally, all you do is put water in a pitcher, or you would really actually need more of like a glass jar. So you put water in a glass jar and then put your iced tea, you put your tea bags in there, like whatever tea you choose. I typically do a black tea. And then you put it outside and the sun will brew the tea. Like to warm up the tea bags, like you use the sun, which is just a fun way of making iced tea. And then you can add whatever you want in there, like your cane sugar or your honey or whatever, and then also have that waiting for you in the fridge. Is just peak summer. But to go along with your tea that is always going to be in the fridge, you are going to also need some snacks. So I am a huge peach girl. Summer is peach season, so I love going peach picking, or if you're in an area that there's like berries that you can pick, I would say go berry picking. And just having fresh fruit in your fridge, you can put it in a nice colander, so it's like just easy to grab and ready, and it looks more appetizing when you do it that way. Having fresh fruit, specifically seasonal fruit, is really a fun way to like embrace the season and feel like you're really living in the summertime. Also, just cooking seasonally in general helps a lot. I like another thing that you can do is corn. Like grilled corn, fresh corn is delicious to have during the summertime. Obviously, watermelon is an easy go-to. Any stone fruits, I already said peaches, but there's like nectarines, apricots, all of those. I love putting peaches like on salads, sandwiches, and hot take. Putting them on a pizza, I think is delicious. With a little prosciutto, arugula, balsamic. Oh, so good. Just cooking seasonally in general will really make you feel like you're embracing the season. On the note of cooking seasonally, we also have to have our seasonal treats. And honestly, summer is the time for weekly ice cream nights. If you have an ice cream shop that is walking distance from you, this seriously needs to be on your weekly agenda. Waiting until like it's getting close to sunset time and going out and walking, or getting in the car, totally fine, and going to your local ice cream shop. Try to go to like a cute local one if you can, or like a cute local soda shop even would be super fun. And then getting your ice cream, milkshake, whatever it is, and then having that, especially if you walk, then walking back with like a fresh ice cream cone is just so fun, and I really think kind of like brings in those childhood memories. Also, s'mores. S'mores of any kind. So you can make s'mores, of course, around a campfire, but that is just there's a lot to go into that, and that might not be something that you can do all the time. There are oven s'mores. You can find out how to do it all over TikTok, or honestly, I can just put a little recipe right here. But oven s'mores are just as good, and you can do them any time of day. And then also, I love to make this treat. It's like it's a s'mores bar, and so the bottom is graham cracker crust, and then the middle is chocolate, and then the top is roasted marshmallows, and then you put that in the fridge and let it all like mold together, and then you cut them and you can eat them cold, and it is so delicious. So making s'mores bars is also something that you definitely need to put on your list this summer. So some of my favorite summer movies, I would say first and foremost is The Parent Trap. Honestly, it's just one of my favorite movies in general. It's a classic comfort film for me, which The Parent Trap is a Nancy Meyers movie, which I'm sure you've seen, like Nancy Meyers aesthetic. I feel like Nancy Meyers is like a huge summer aesthetic already, mainly because a lot of her films are filmed in like the summertime and have that coastal grandmother feel, if you know about that aesthetic as well. I would say honestly almost any of her movies are really good to watch, but I definitely say The Parent Trap, and then also I really like Something's Gotta Give. So that is also a really good one. But like I said, any of the Nancy Meyers movies are honestly pretty fun to watch during the summertime. Another one I love, this is a great family movie, so if you have young kids, this is a fun one to watch with them, and that would be Cheaper by the Dozen 2. This one is more around a lake, so it's giving those camp lake vibes, while Parent Trap has like all of the summer vibes with the summer camp at the beginning, and then there's pool, and then there's horseback riding, there's camping as a family. It has just all of the summer vibes. And then Cheaper by the Dozen 2 is like two families at a lake house, and there's like summer games there. They're competing against, and it's over Memorial Day weekend, which is actually super fun. I would be remiss if I failed to mention Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia gives you more of like those Greek summer vibes. Mamma Mia is a classic. I love this one. It's about a girl who's getting married, and she really wants her father to be there. She reads her mom's journals, old journals, and realizes that there's 3 possible men that can be her father. So she invites all of them to her wedding so that she can meet them, talk to them, and try to figure out who she thinks is her real father so that he can walk her down the aisle. It's also a musical, so if you're a fan of musicals, then this is a great one to watch. Here are a few book recommendations. There are so many good books that you can read during this time. I would say the queen for me of summer reads would be Emily Henry. She has a book called The Happy Place. I loved that book. I read that, I think, 2 summers ago. She obviously has Beach Read. I feel like that's the book that really put her on the map in general. Ellen Hilderbrand has a lot of summer books. She actually might be the queen of summer reads. There's many queens. There's space for all of us. Yes, just finding yourself a good summer read and trying to find one that is like based in summer, or like the scenery subject time is summer. Oh, One Italian Summer by Rebecca Surley is a great one. There's just so many. So yeah, finding a good summer book and just waking up early, going outside, grounding for a little bit, and then reading is just a great way to start the day. Speaking of reading, something that makes me think of my childhood, because I was a little bit of a nerd in this way, is I loved a good summer reading challenge. So something that you can do is give yourself a summer reading challenge even though you're no longer in school. Actually, I am doing a summer reading challenge of someone that I found on Substack, and she just for fun, like, started this summer reading challenge. And I think I think the goal is 30 books, but whoever, you can do more than that, of course. And even if you do less, it's all just for fun, like whatever you can do, but just to really like cultivate that love of reading again, especially if you're someone who feel like you've kind of fallen off of that since you've like been out of school or just whatever is going on in your life and you haven't been able to. I feel like summer is a great time to get back to that. I remember always doing summer reading challenges. I don't know if anyone else did this, but I think it was
Pizza Hut that did summer reading challenges, and you could read a bunch of books, and then you submitted like some type of paper or slip to them, and then you would like get a free pizza or something like that. So I think that is super fun, and you can kind of actually do that, because another fun thing that you can do during the summer is have homemade pizza nights. I just feel like summertime, reading, pizza parties, it all goes together with that nostalgia theme. And so that's something that we're doing in my home, is we are having homemade pizza nights every Friday, and then we're matching it up with either like a game night or a movie marathon of some of those movies that I mentioned. And so doing homemade pizza night would be something that's really fun. The simpler the better in summertime specifically. And so one thing that I do is, no matter what the weather is, I always open up the windows for at least 20 minutes. You honestly should do this every day, at least 20 minutes, to just get fresh air going throughout your home. But even if it's a little warmer, I'll just try to do it as soon as I wake up, so the weather is the coolest that it's most likely going to be during that day, and I'll open up the windows, or I'll do it like right before I go to bed. But like opening up the windows and just getting some fresh air in your home really feels like it like resets the place. And then another thing that I love to do is grounding. I try to do this, honestly, once again, another thing that I try to do every day throughout the entire year, not just in summertime, but especially last year, I would wake up pretty early because the sun is like up and in full force around 6 a.m. here. And so I would wake up between like 5:30 and 6 a.m. I would get up, grab my sandals, grab my picnic blanket, grab that fresh iced tea that I have waiting in the fridge, a peach, and my favorite book, and then I would run over to the grassy area right behind where I live, and I would put my feet in the grass and lay down my blanket, and I would just sit there and like kind of ground for at least like 5 minutes. You don't have to do it for long, but just like let yourself be at peace and really feel like true grass and ground on your feet. Like, especially with so many of us who live in like apartments or live, I don't know, we're just always doing things. You don't realize how often your bare feet don't touch the actual earth anymore. And there is scientific evidence of how important that is. And it just feels so good. So I would do that. And then I would sit out there for like 15, 20 minutes, however much time I could, depending on what I had planned for that day. And I would read, drink my iced tea, eat my peach. And it was so like that, just doing something like one little thing like that, really, it not only like set the tone for my day of me feeling like much more relaxed and excited to go into the day, but also it literally like created a core memory for me. So this summer I was looking forward to doing that again. Just getting outside first thing in the morning is really going to help you feel like you're actually like enjoying the summer and enjoying the weather, enjoying the outdoors, but like also being able to, you know, live and not die of heat exhaustion. With summer, the sun does not go down until a little bit later, so the days are longer. So when it's starting to go down and when you have those sunset times, really utilizing those. Go on as many walks as you can. Gather your friends for bonfires. Doing like a nightly swim. A nightly swim is so fun. Really try to utilize the other times of day and the other hours, whether that be early morning or closer to the evening time, and take advantage of the fact that the days are longer and that you can do more stuff with people and gather people around. Doing a road trip of some sort, even if it's just for a small town, like an hour away from you, getting some snacks that you like, getting in the car, putting on like a fun summery playlist and doing a road trip really will help you create some fun memories. Take advantage of things that are happening in your town, looking up if you have parks nearby, or if you have botanical gardens, or a lot of city community outreach events. During the summer, we'll have live music, and I think that is something that's so fun. We went to a couple last summer, and I'm hoping to do more this summer, where they had live music, they had food trucks, they had different treats that you could buy, and a lot of people came out for it. And you can bring your own food if you wanted. So we brought a picnic blanket and some snacks, and then we also got treats there, of course, but just inviting our friends, and we all sat down. That's another time that you can take your shoes off or your sandals and just sit in the grass if it's at a park, and listening to live music is really fun. And for my last activity, I call it Nostalgic Day. Like I said, it's kind of the theme that I like to embrace during the summertime. But we have done this a couple years in a row now, and if you have kids, this is actually really something fun to do with children. But it is finding something that you loved to do as a kid and devoting one day to that activity. So I loved tie-dye when I was little, so one day we just did like a whole tie-dye day, and we bought shirts and sweatshirts and different things, and we just did a bunch of tie-dye, and it was super fun. And you can invite friends to do that with you as well. The other thing you can do, if like when you were younger, if you did water guns, you could invite your friends over and do like a water gun fight. That is something that people would probably really get into, and it's a way to keep them cool. So that's fun. But just think about the stuff that you enjoyed when you were little that you really looked forward to. Obviously a classic pool day is fun, but maybe playing it up more with like snacks that you really enjoyed when you were younger, or like ice cream pops that you liked, and kind of just adding like that childlike nostalgia into there would be really fun. But yeah, so those are my recommendations of ways to fully embrace the summer, even when it's extremely hot outside. I know that we can do it. I know that we are going to survive, even though once you start seeing the temperatures rise, you start to get really nervous and maybe even a little bit depressed and feeling like this dread of like, oh no, here we go again for the next 3-4 months of however long it lasts for you, that you are not going to enjoy the season. But I encourage you, take some of these tips. Hopefully you feel inspired to find ways to really enjoy this season and make it the best summer yet. My name is Tiffany. I post videos inspiring you to find the beauty in the mundane of the everyday. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and come back for more. Bye.